Welcome to the TNBT Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Frank Myers, where I'm here to talk about anything and everything about the world of professional wrestling. Now, this is a podcast where it's about wrestling. I'll talk about any topic, anything, just in general wrestling. Yeah, pretty much. This is the first episode. This is not going to be a complete episode because I'm going to introduce you to the show and everything about the show. So, this is just a podcast, pretty much, because sure, I make YouTube videos, but I want to start this so I can talk about anything and everything I want about pro wrestling in general. So pretty much what this podcast is going to be about is wrestling. I already said that, but you know what? It's whatever. Let's get into topics about what this podcast will be about. So here are the things. First, the news, of course. I always have the news in a podcast. The Wrestler of the Week, which is my Wrestler of the Week, pretty much why I spotlight. The Underrated Wrestler of the Week, where I try to put eyes on a new up-and-coming wrestler, just a wrestler who deserves more spotlight in general. Tweet of the Week from a wrestler, just because I like Twitter. And then the main event of the normal podcast episode will be just the main event, which will be why you are clicking on the podcast. Now, I'm not going to be doing any of the other stuff like the news, Wrestler of the Week, Underrated Wrestler of the Week, or Trade of the Week. I'm going to be going to the main event, the topic of the week. So the topic of the week is which WWE superstars will shape up, or just what wrestlers will shape up WWE in 2019. Now, I'm going to make this as broad as I can, but by shortening it in comparison. So, one wrestler who I think will really shape up WWE in 2019 will be Seth Rollins. Now, that's such an easy pick. I know, but it makes sense. He is the only man on the Raw roster, besides someone else, which I will talk about later, who can really wrestle in the main event, and make people want to watch the main event. He is just all-around a great wrestler, and he is really the only top star left that's established on Monday Night Raw besides Dean Ambrose. But I don't think he's going to do much he's going to do something for stuff on the mid-card, but not for WWE as a whole. Seth Rollins will definitely carry the Monday Night Raw brand, and if he goes to SmackDown Live, he will carry it along with the face that runs the place, AJ Styles. Now, the next group I will say that will shape the WWE in 2019 is the Elite. The Elite. Now, I think that the Elite will shape up WWE because they're not going to go to WWE. That's a given. They're not going to go to WWE. Contracts are turned down and everything. They're not going to WWE. It's just simple thing. But what I truly believe is that with AEW All Elite Wrestling, the Young Bucks, Cody, Hangman, Kenny, Flip Gordon possibly, and Marty will completely be WWE's next competition. I truly believe that. Now, I know people are saying, what about TNA? What about Ring of Honor? What about New Japan Pro Wrestling? And I have to simply say there will not be competition. Because they won't want to. Because they know what will happen. But Cody and the Bucks have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. And then if you have Chris Jericho and Jim Ross helping with this promotion, you know that AEW will make sure WWE will step up its game instead of the same boring Raw every week. And if AEW can get a nice TV deal, on a pop, whatever the new channel they're on, deficit or something, I'm not sure, 100% sure. But AEW will truly be competition for WWE. Next is the man EC3. He's got it all. He's got charisma, he can wrestle, he can work on the mic, he can get reactions. What else would you need in a superstar? He legit has social media down, and he can do whatever you want. He wrestles a main event style, so you don't have to just, build him up. He knows what he's doing. He's done it before. He's been in WWE before. He knows what he has to do to impress the bosses and everything like that. So, yeah, just that in general. Next, the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, I truly believe will shape WWE. If you look at it, right, in the past few weeks, who's the man that's been coming out on top in almost every single one of his matches? Drew McIntyre. It's obvious. He is, honestly, I feel like either him or Seth Rollins are going to win the men's Royal Rumble. It's just going to happen. And Drew McIntyre, I know, will be a a future Universal Champion. It's just a matter of time. Because I know Seth will win the belt. That's just a given because Brock Lesnar is going to beat Lesnar, I think, at Mania, possibly. But you know Seth will drop the belt to Drew. It's just going to happen. You know it's going to happen. And then the final man who I think will lead WWE or shape WWE is Elias. If you listen to any podcast about wrestling news or just about wrestling, like WWE, if you listen to the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast, just like, they're a perfect example. Elias has it all. He works the mic magnificently. And then if you look, he has the crowd behind him. He has something that Rusev didn't have when he had the Rusev Day character. Sure, everyone loved it, but something about Elias is way more over than Rusev. And he's on par to be like a Becky Lynch on Monday Night Raw. And if you look at him, he wrestles a main event style. And like, I know I'm breaking kayfabe, I know I am. But like, that's just how it is. He wrestles a main event style. He wrestles with rest holds. He knows how to stop momentum or carry momentum. He knows what he's doing. If you looked at Elias 2 years ago in NXT, you would not think he'd be one of Monday Night Raw's main event players. You would not. It's just simple. It's Elias. He doesn't know what he's doing. Elias Samson, he doesn't know what he's doing. But once he made that jump to Raw, that's when you truly realize that he's one of those guys who doesn't need NXT. He just had to be under the limelight. And you had to realize he's the next guy. He will be a future Intercontinental Universal Champion. If you put the Universal title on Elias, you will see stock go up. You will see money go through the roof. You will just see a whole new Elias and a whole new Monday Night Raw. So I'm going to have to ask you guys, put in the comment section down below who you think will shape WWE the most in 2019. And just tell me what you think about the layout of the podcast. This is something I've been hoping to do, not weekly, but do enough. Because I want this to be something big. I want to make this video podcast something special to look forward to. So follow me on all my social media. Twitter at frankofthemyers, Instagram at frankofthemyers, add me on Snapchat if you just want to snap back and forth at frankofthemyers. And if you want to be friends on Facebook, just look me up, frankofthemyers. I'll probably be there. I forget my profile pic, but I'll probably be there. So this has been the TNBT Wrestling Podcast. This is Frank Myers signing out, guys. See you in the next episode.